It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
We've got our second place qualifier, Mark Martin. Mark, how was your lap out there today?
It was fun. Just great to go to the racetrack with this 8 car right now. We're just having a blast. Car was strong in practice, and you know, we're looking forward to tomorrow's happy hour and try to get the car a little bit better for the race. I think we improved it some from last time's qualifying to this time, and we need to improve the race setup just a little bit last time versus this time. And if we do that, we could put our, you know, try to put ourselves in position to be a contender.
Questions for Mark? David has one down here.
I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire, but the prediction last week, because I don't think that race counts. I mean, you know, in terms of, you say one thing, that race didn't have anything to do with how your car ran. When it was racing, was it as good as you thought it was going to be, and is this car this week as good or better?
David, it wasn't good enough to beat the 48 last week. Now, there's a lot of ways to win these races. You can be the fastest car out there, or you can be one of the group behind the fastest car and still win. For me to have won last week, I would have had to win, you know, I would have had to have had things really go my way, because the 48 had the fastest car. But, you know, 60% of the time or 65% of the time, the fastest car wins. The other, you know, the other 35 to 40% of the time, you know, someone else is able to pull it off. I think the car was certainly clearly better than 11th last week. What happened was I lost 2 spots on the first pit stop, and I thought, you know, on the next run that I could get those back, and so I tore the right rear off and had to pit under the green. And at that point, then I ran harder than I should have, trying to make that up, and had to pit under the green before the next caution. So after that, I had to run at 80% and come from 33rd to 11th. Doesn't look like much, but still, I didn't totally embarrass myself. It was a pretty strong showing, although the results don't you know, the final result of the race maybe didn't show it. Is the car for Sunday? I'll know more. We need to make it better than it was in race setup last time here. We improved the qualifying setup a little bit, so if we can find some things that'll make the car stay strong longer into the run than it did last time, then we can be a contender. It's really, really hard to beat the 48 right now, you know. But like I say, we'll do everything we can to have the fastest, best car and have all the best decisions, and then we have to rely on what, fate, you know, or whatever. We have to rely on some other things to line up for us. I'm really proud of the team, and I'll be careful about, you know, what I say going forward. I have great respect for how hard this stuff is. I've educated most of you guys in the room for years about, cautioned you about, you know, being over optimistic, and I really wanted Indy to work out, and it didn't, but we give it a great go.
Other questions for Mark?
Hey, Mark, you've run it, you know, back when we used to joke about the 24 hours of Rockingham and how long Dover's races used to be at 500 miles. How does a 500-mile race at Pocono compare to what those used to be like?
It's, you know, now it seems like our longest race, just about. It can certainly be a long race here. You know, and for some reason the weather seemed to be brutal. You know, that mix between humidity and temperature, and there's some certain things that make particular races brutal that you wouldn't necessarily see coming. That's a pretty long race today. But I'll be honest with you, I love racing here. This is on my schedule because this is at one of the upper, it's upper on my list of places to go. When I was looking for races to cut off my schedule, I couldn't bear to cut Pocono off, so we wound up with 26 instead of 22. These two and a couple of others. So, you put me in a tough. Oh boy, you put me under the gun there. I can read. If I went along with that, I can read the headlines already. So, I'm a competitor. I'll need to stay out of that one. I'll fight these certain battles, but I don't need to get tangled up in that one.
Go ahead, Scott.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times. Mark, do you feel rejuvenated in your career? Are you having more fun at any point in your career than you did earlier?
I feel like that the mix is perfect right now for me, between wonderful equipment that DEI's putting me in, the team and Tony Gibson's attitude, the opportunity to be working so closely with Eric Almirola, the schedule for a year and a half. I've had plenty of weekends off, and yes, I'm 100% rejuvenated. I really know today how much racing means to me, and I would answer a lot of questions differently today than I would have a year and a half ago or 2 years ago about the sport. Like one of which would be, why would I want to go to a race if I wasn't driving? Well, if I couldn't drive, I'd still want to come to, I'd still want to be a part of a race team right now. It's different. I feel differently toward it than I did when I was so burned out, from 19 years straight. So I love it. This is where my friends are. This is where, this is where I belong.